And for number 6, this is one where we use direct substitution. We end up getting 0 over 0 again. We have to try and factor. Now, you may have forgotten how to factor something like this. This is the difference of 2 cubes. So I'm going to give you a formula you might want to write on your review sheet, and it'll pop up from time to time. Is the difference of and the sum of 2 cubes. So if we have a cubed minus b cubed, or a cubed plus b cubed, the sum of 2 cubes, there are specific ways that we can factor that. So the way that I remember this, both of these are going to factor into a binomial times a trinomial. So 2 terms times 3 terms here. And they're going to be pretty much identical except for the signs. The thing that's going to be different is the sign for each one. So to figure out the signs in this first difference of 2 cubes, our first sign is always the same. So if this is a minus, that's going to be a minus. Down here, if this is a plus, this is going to be a plus. Then in our trinomial, there are 2 signs, 2 operations. First one is always going to be the opposite of this. So if this is a minus, this is going to be a plus. Down here, this is a plus, this is going to be a minus. And the last operation is always going to be addition. So one way to help you remember this one is the same as this. This is the opposite of this one. And then this one is always positive. So spells out the word soap. Same sign, opposite, always positive. Now, we have to figure out what terms go in there. In the first part, it's always the cube root of this. So cube root of a cubed is just going to be a. Cube root of b cubed goes here, so b. Same down here, we're going to have a plus b for this one. First term is going to be this first term squared, so it's going to be a squared for each one. Last term is going to be the last term in here squared, so we have b squared and b squared. And the middle one is just this times this. Forget about the sign, it's just ab for both of these. So that's how we'd factor difference of 2 cubes and the sum of 2 cubes. So let's put it into effect here in number 6. We're going to factor that top. Here we're going to have a binomial and a trinomial. So the binomial is going to be the same sign as what we started with here. Trinomial, we're going to start off in here with the opposite of that, so it's going to be plus, and the last one's always positive. First term here, cube root of this, so cube root of x cubed is just x. This term, cube root of this, so we're just going to have 4. And then in here, we're going to have this first term squared. Last part here is this term squared, so we have 16. And then in between we're just going to have 4x. Bottom, this is just difference of 2 squares. That one you should remember, x minus 4 times x plus 4. So once we factor that, now we can cancel out our common factors where we have a whole, and the part that's making the 0 over 0 is gone. We can do the limit as x approaches 4 of x squared plus 4x plus 16 all over x plus 4. Now we can use direct substitution. If we put 4 in there, we're going to get 16 plus 16 plus 16 all over 8. So we get 48 over 8, which is just 6.